Hi, I am Ganesh. Today I am going to talk about Poka Yoke approach in safety. Poka Yoke is a term that originated in Japan and is often used in the field of quality management and process improvement. While it is not directly related to safety, it can indirectly contribute to safety by preventing errors and reducing the likelihood of accidents. Poka Yoke is a Japanese term that translates to mistake proofing or error proofing. It refers to the implementation of mechanisms or techniques designed to prevent mistakes or errors from occurring in a process. The main idea behind Poka Yoke is to make it impossible or difficult for errors to happen, thereby improving quality, productivity, and efficiency. In the context of safety, Poka Yoke can be applied to prevent accidents or injuries caused by human error. For example, in a manufacturing environment, Poka Yoke devices or mechanisms can be implemented to ensure that operators follow the correct procedures or use the appropriate safety equipment. These devices may include sensors, alarms, physical barriers, or visual cues that help guide workers and prevent them from making mistakes that could lead to accidents. By implementing Poka Yoke principles and mechanisms, organizations aim to reduce the potential for errors, minimize risks, and improve overall safety in the workplace. Implementing Poka Yoke in a company involves following a systematic approach to identify potential errors or mistakes in processes and then designing and implementing mechanisms to prevent or detect those errors. Here's a general outline of how Poka Yoke can be implemented. Identify potential errors. Analyze the processes and operations within your company to identify potential areas where errors or mistakes can occur. This can be done through observations, data analysis, and involving employees who have direct experience with the processes. Understand the root causes. Determine the root causes of errors or mistakes in the identified processes. This can involve conducting root cause analysis or using other problem-solving techniques to identify the underlying reasons behind the errors. Design Poka Yoke mechanisms. Once the potential errors and their causes are understood, brainstorm and design Poka Yoke mechanisms that can prevent or detect those errors. This can involve a variety of solutions such as visual cues, physical barriers, sensors, checklists, or alarms. The mechanisms should be simple, reliable, and easy to understand and use. Implement the mechanisms. Integrate the designed Poka Yoke mechanisms into the processes or operations. This may involve modifying equipment, redesigning workstations, implementing new software or technology, or providing training to employees on how to use the mechanisms effectively. Test and refine. Evaluate the effectiveness of the implemented Poka Yoke mechanisms. Test them in real-world scenarios to ensure they effectively prevent or detect errors. Gather feedback from employees and make any necessary adjustments or improvements to the mechanisms based on their input. Continuous improvement. Maintain a culture of continuous improvement and learning. Encourage employees to provide feedback, report any issues or potential improvements, and actively seek ways to refine and enhance the Poka Yoke mechanisms over time. Remember that Poka Yoke is a proactive approach to error prevention, and its successful implementation requires collaboration between management, employees, and relevant stakeholders. It should be integrated as part of an overall quality and safety management system within the company.